Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review for Juni Taisen episode 6. Kind of a weird one. Yeah, I'll talk about some of the things I thought were kind of weird as I go through it. I thought it was really good like every episode, but yeah, also just kind of weird. Some of the stuff it didn't feel like previous episodes in some sort of a way. Some things I felt like were too easy and didn't really feel all that emotional. But either way, I'll just go through it. From the very beginning, oh yes, Tiger, please. I am not really into alcoholism or drinking in any sort of way, but damn, Tiger, damn. Man, Tiger could be best girl. Tiger could be best girl. I thought it was Monkey, but it could be Tiger. Either way, one thing that I was thinking, it seems as though because of the way they place bets later that it was a mistake in the subs last week, but in the subs last week they said there were 3 left before there would only be top 6 when it should have been 2 left. And one of the things after I made my review and I was thinking over the week about the series, one thing I thought was what if Snake isn't really dead? What if Snake being dead at the beginning is just all a setup? Or maybe he is technically dead but not perma-dead, because perhaps snakes, mythology and all that could rebirth themselves or whatever. And I could see 2 of the things I would give as evidence. I could see his ability being something like this little corpse body that's walking around. I could see it just like shedding off like skin and there being another one inside, sort of almost Orochimaru style. And another thing is that when the body was searching around for Rat, and Rat's trying to figure out how it is that this body is looking for him, because it shouldn't have any of its senses like sight or hearing. One thing that I thought was maybe possible was that, of course, it was still the real Snake, and that's how it was tracking him, and that was our hint, that was our clue, that the real Snake was still somehow alive, and this was just some sort of body double or something. And I still think that could potentially be the case. So Snake may be alive. I don't trust most deaths right now. I think that most of the people who are dead are actually dead, of course, because it would seem that way. We've seen corpses, we've seen the actual deaths for the most part. But on the other hand, this is a TV show, it's entertainment. And for something like this, you gotta know not to really totally trust any death, because I could totally see a character we thought was dead showing up out of the blue and coming in for the clutch, maybe winning somehow, and then them doing a little flashback scene to how they actually survived and were pulling strings behind the scenes or something like that. So I could see something like that happening, especially with Snake, but I mean, I obviously don't see Snake winning. They would just have gone through all that to then die again somehow in the future. But I could see that happening. I could see Snake still being alive. We get to check in on all the characters, continuing what they were doing last time we saw them, which I thought was good. I really liked checking in on all the different characters and jumping around. Tiger is just too lewd. Oh my god, that stance. Tiger is so great. Horse can't figure out how to win. He's pretty much just locked himself in this little bank vault, it looks like, barricaded the doors, and is freaking out because he can't figure out. He's like, even if it comes down to me and Ox as the last 2 people alive, how am I supposed to win? Rabbit seems to Monkey to not be a trained fighter, and then he kills her and she's like, or was he a trained fighter? But no, we still don't really know if he's a trained fighter or if he's just, I don't want to say lucky, but if he's just sort of using sketchy methods like the head in the tree and seeing through its eyes. The head being in the tree and seeing through its eyes makes me think Snake may be actually permadead, but still this could be some sort of body double or something. I don't know. From different things we've seen, I don't know how much I trust Snake's death, especially since we haven't seen Dragon at all since then. It seems like we're getting into them next episode, but not seeing them for half the show. It does kind of make me question the veracity of his death. So from there, after Monkey dies and presumably joins the undead army, Sheep gets immediately de-Juseki'd, just completely the jewel knocked out of his stomach just instantly, And of course, it was kind of predictable because you. It's kind of predictable because you know as soon as they say Tiger's the weakest that she's going to be super strong. That's always how this works. So yeah, she completely destroys him. She's a drunken fist user, and she's like, "Hey, you know, you look more like the drunken fist user than me," joking about how it's typically the old man character. So yeah, one thing, I don't know if I'd call it a complaint, but it seemed weirdly emotionless, both deaths. It's like Sheep died and who cares, and Monkey died, and even though we had her backstory and Monkey's been a character that's gotten a lot of focus, she died in a way that was like just quick, like you would kill off a nobody character. So yeah, she died kind of easily and there wasn't much emotion to it. So then the betting begins for the top 6: Rat, Dragon, Horse, Tiger, Rabbit, and Ox. We get Horse's backstory, and I thought the animation and fight sequence in Horse's backstory was freaking awesome. That might be the best fight so far. Like, that looked really good. That animation was great. So we find out that he pretty much altered his body with a bunch of different drugs and surgeries and training in order to be impenetrable. Rat just ends up in the room with him, says that he can slip through any cracks. So I guess that has something to do with his ability. But I love the way when he was talking about his phone, he's like, "You know, I'm the one to purposefully break my phone. The cracks in it are pretty metal, am I right?" I just love, he was like, "It's pretty metal." So yeah, Rat slipped in there, gives Horse the information, then slips back out, but says, "Oh yeah, Snake might be coming after me, so watch out for that." And he brings up during that, he's like, "You know, we never really did learn Monkey's plan. She said she had a plan to stop all this without us dying, but guess none of us will never know. Maybe she didn't even have a plan. Maybe it was just something to stop and get us to talk, and maybe we would think of a plan then." So, yeah, it was interesting he brought up, yeah, she kept saying she had a plan, but nobody knew it. He also says, one line I like was when he said, "I've seen the corpses that Rabbit's controlling, and they seem more alive than you right now." So then, once he leaves, the building is burning, Horse is suffocating, and presumably dies there, leaving 5 left, but I still don't trust every death quite yet, especially Snake's. Still don't trust all of them quite yet. So yeah. It was a good episode. I don't trust everything we've seen. I think some of it may be purposefully misleading in order to have some sort of cool reveal later on. What else? I thought the animation was great. One complaint, though, for the episode would be that it's not very emotional. We got, presumably, if Horse did die at the end, we got 3 deaths this episode, which is a crazy amount. As a score, I give it 9 sexy tigresses out of 10, because even though I did have some complaints here and there, it was really good and really enjoyable to watch. Now then, I'm not going to do the percentages for surviving and dying like last time, because I don't really have any. I'm a lot less sure this week, but I have the order that I would predict that they would die in, and the order happens to be, for me, the order that I think they would next die in would be Rat, of course, because he still seems like the main character. A lot of people brought up, oh, he's the high school student, of course he's going to be the one to survive. Ox, because he's been up at the top, him and Horse, for a long time. Now Horse is presumably dead. Horse losing his will to fight. If he did survive this episode, he was going to be going down to the bottom anyway. So I would say Ox in second place still, because he's just super strong and we don't know how anybody will defeat him yet. But on top of that, we don't know his backstory yet, and he could have that backstory that explains what he's doing and why he's doing it and makes us feel sympathetic for him. I could see that happening. So Ox in second. Tiger next up, because she's, I guess, really compared to the others, she's not really moving up much of anything special. It's more that Dragon has moved down a little. But Tiger, I think seeing her as being super strong now and seeing her ability, I would move her up to third, past Dragon, and I would move Rabbit up past Dragon as well, because now that he's killed Monkey and added her to the undead army, because the undead army keeps growing, I don't quite see Rabbit dying quite yet, but I guess I see the other three still surviving more than him, so I'll put him in 4th. And then the next one to die, I would guess, would be Dragon and or Snake. If Snake did survive, I think the two brothers dying together might be something that probably happens. So yeah, I would put Dragon Snake in 5th/6th. Also, one thing that I want to bring up is that I noticed the order that I was going to put them in is the same order that they are in the ending. And I've been watching the ending every week thinking, I hope this isn't spoilers, because they should just put them in random order. Obviously anybody would do that. They don't want to spoil their own show by putting them in a spoilery order. They'd put them in the order of the Zodiac, or in the order of just, random order. But, with the exception of Snake, who I think there's evidence he might still be alive, every character in the ending has been in the order that they've died. And the order that I possibly see the next 5 dying in also happens to be the order of the next 5. So what I'm worried about is that we've been spoiled by the ending from the beginning, and that the ending has shown every character from the start in the order at which they're going to die, like none of us would notice after 3 or 4 deaths. So, man, yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit disappointed if that's the case, but even if it's not the case, it's the truth for the first 6 deaths. So yeah, that's rough. That's rough if it's so predictable that they actually made the ending the order in which the characters die. So I guess if that's the case, and you don't want to be spoiled, skip the ending from now on. Yeah, just a warning there, because I just think for the first 6 to die to be in order of their death in the ending is just too much of a coincidence, So, I guess, oh well, that's it. That's all I got. If you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this episode, what you thought of my thoughts of it, on it. Subscribe for more. Junie Tyson, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. That's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.